Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up. Bye up. In a menudo style and direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I'm very much appreciative. So it's official. Like a referee's whistle, right? The Hells Angels put out a declaration or a response, basically officially talking about all this Aurora, Colorado nonsense, and are they or were they ever going to really pull up? Now, I think I said it before, and I think a lot of other content creators said it, and I know that this was all sparked by a TikTok rumor. A woman that basically ran her neck bone without knowing exactly what was going on. She was bumping baking soda breath on the door and didn't even have anyone to challenge, right? These are how rumors are started. This is what happened. And basically the Hells Angels put out, an update saying that they never intended to go to Aurora, Colorado and get involved in something that didn't involve club business. Now, I've been around bikers my whole life, and I know that they would sit there and have their church and decide as a collective, as a club, what was in their best or not their best benefit. One thing I do know about the Hells Angels, and I could stamp it and say for sure, having been around some of them all my life, is that there's no reasoning to put themselves in a predicament or any type of situation that doesn't involve them. As long as it doesn't involve club business, as long as it doesn't involve their families and personal debt or reasons or anything that has to definitely, or that would definitely immediately impact them, then they're not going to go out of the box or out of their way to stick their nose in anyone else's business because they respect the fact that no one is willing to stick their nose in their business. And that's the truth of the matter. That's gangster, okay? Without being a gangster. A lot of these guys are, I guess a lot of people think that they've went mainstream. And quietly as it's kept, for the 1%er clubs, this is probably the club that's most known. Excuse me if you hear in the back, the bicycles are, they're getting their blow down. They're blowing down some lawn, right? They're doing it. They do it like no others. But it's official, man. They put out a statement saying, that they never intended to go to Aurora, Colorado and involve themselves in them shenanigans of the mix. And definitely, I never thought so. Just knowing how bikers function and their get down, if it was a personal matter, if they felt disrespected, oh yes, indeed. They'll write graffiti all over your bus. Yes, indeed, they would pull up and handle their business, right? That's a fact. But it was a situation that I think was more of propaganda and a small situation that escalated over social media and big media news. And I've said it, several videos, right? Now, for those of you that don't know how this rumor was started, it was started over TikTok. And what happened was a female went on TikTok and subsequently she has now apologized to the Hells Angel organization, the club. Also, she has apologized to everyone for misleading or misdirecting people. But once that spark is flamed, once that match is lit, once the gas is thrown on the flame, you can't control that fire. And she definitely didn't understand what she couldn't control. It got out of her reach. So she did the best thing she could do was apologize to the people, save face, and cut out, right? She didn't want to be, her name's Bennett. She didn't want to be in it anymore. And I could definitely understand that situation. But she happened to see Hells Angels on the road heading towards what was going to be a rally or a get together. And so she made the assumption that they were heading to Aurora, Colorado to in fact involve themselves with the shenanigans that allegedly this Venezuelan gang was involved in. Now, let's break it down because I've heard some more information. The other night we had a live, we interviewed somebody that's actually from Aurora, Colorado. Couldn't get a word out. The brother was slapping his tongue and doing all kinds of crazy shit. But at the same time, he definitely is a native and a resident of Aurora, Colorado. And he said those apartments that these guys allegedly were taking over are slums, ran by a slumlord. Nobody, and I mean nobody in Aurora, Colorado wants to go over there and participate in anything because everybody knows that part of town, that area, them two apartment complexes are ran down. They're insufficient for anyone to even live in. Okay, and this is the places These are the places that a lot of the immigrants are being housed in. See, when people hear, and it's crazy, and I'm going to fight on both sides of the argument here because I'm in the middle. But when people say, oh man, the immigrants are overtaking our jobs, they're being allowed, they're getting put in nice luxury apartments and they're given a welfare check and they're getting food stamps and they're giving everything everyone else that's lazy ass that doesn't want to get up and go to work. That's what they're being given, right? Okay, so they just happen to be from Venezuela or Cuba or fucking wherever they're from. These guys are not getting placed in luxury apartments. They're getting placed in the worst apartments in the city. And yes, they might be overran with Venezuelans, but not overran in a thing that they're doing crime. You know, there's always going to be gangs. There's always going to be people that participate in that. That's just the way it is. When you put immigrants, people that can't speak the language, people that really have no job, that are used to working, that are used to fending for themselves, and you put them in a situation where you put them in the ghetto, well, they're going to get real ghetto. Okay? What do you expect? Okay, that situation right there that you seen them going in, people were saying, oh, they were knocking off doorknobs with hammers. I'm sure there's been some isolated incidences where, yes, they have done some home invasion. Sasuke, it smells good in here. What are those? Tortillas? I'm gonna need those, right? Of course, just like home invasions and them type of things happen in America every day by different ethnicities. There's nothing different. I think the focus now is to scare people and tell them, oh, the Venezuelans are coming. The Venezuelans are coming. If you don't stop it, right? No one's tripping, and especially not the Hells Angels. Definitely. They don't even know what a Venezuelan is. Brother, what's that? I don't know. I think they make taquitos. Do they, brother? Do they got coffee? Right? Straight up. Hells Angels are not concerned with anything that's going on that doesn't directly impact their clubhouse. That's a fact. They officially said it. But more so what that incident was about, and after talking to a few people and doing my homework, because so many people left comments, Gun, do your homework. You're ill-informed. Nah, I don't think I'm misinformed, ill-informed, or any type of informed things like that. What I think is I have an opinion just like everyone else, and I have a perspective, and I'm going to go based off the facts that I know to be true. That was a slummy apartment complex, and these people were upset. They were upset that they weren't getting the proper care or what they felt they had coming. So, of course, they rose up. Just a group of young men, it looked like they were youngsters, and went in to basically pull up and say, hey, we need fucking water that doesn't have shit in it, right? It wasn't necessarily a takeover. Now, we've all seen the movie, most of us, the movie New Jack City. When Nino Brown and the Cash Money brothers went up in that manner and they took over, they snatched people out of their apartment complex, was throwing them out the window, they had the motherfucker buck naked in the street. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right? That right there was a takeover, right? This, in Aurora, Colorado, was a few dudes with an old farmer gun running up in the landlord's house talking about, motherfucker, my electricity don't work, bro. Yeah, that's what that was. The Hells Angels definitely are not going to involve themselves in anything domestic, okay? It goes against everything they believe in as a club and everything they're trying to establish within their own cause and their people. You know, just because these guys were headed to a rally, this woman on TikTok decided to even mention the Hells Angels. Quietly as it's kept, this is probably the last video I'm going to do mentioning them because I'm sure they don't want to be involved or put in that mix continuously like a lot of people have. You know, now, shout out to the homeboy JD Delay. If you guys haven't tapped into his channel, make sure you tap into his channel. He gives you facts, man. He gives you a lot of 10-5 aquí, a lot of pura. And he definitely did a lot of videos, and he was concerned and alarmed at the same time that the Hells Angels would involve themselves because he also talks to a few of them, and he recognized, man, it just didn't make sense. Now, whoever he talked to told him one story, and then people say others. But the Hells Angels have officially made a statement. They've officially said, hell no, we won't go. There's no reason for them to involve themselves. Now, another thing that led me to believe that it was all bullshit, was the fact that that area has many other biker clubs, the Sons of Silence. I'm sure there's, just to take one, there's a presence of Hells Angels already in Colorado in the outlying areas. So to believe that all these guys would gather up from Canada and California and Egypt and wherever they had their club, their chapters, their charters, and that they would all rise up and go together to fight 6 fucking Venezuelans with a pitchfork and a fucking sombrero on. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Why? It's not that serious. Social media is undefeated. Okay, social media and what you say, if you don't say the right thing, next thing you know, you could be the laughing stock of everyone, or you could be the hot to a girl, right? You just never know. So people say outlandish things and crazy things and lie, blatantly lie, to get a soundbite, to go viral, to get a clip, to get some clout, to make themselves look good, to gain some monetization. I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, this has to be a fact-based driven platform. All these platforms, TikTok, YouTube, because if you don't do your homework and you don't spit out facts, now you're able to talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. It's your channel, do whatever you do, right? But at the end of the day, when you're making accusations or assumptions on a group like the Hells Angels, Venezuelan gangs, MS-13, all these different gangs and groups, then what happens is, you're going to find yourself in a situation that you don't necessarily want to be in, because groups and gangs take it as disrespect. You think the Hells Angels want everybody talking about them in a negative fashion so law enforcement could focus? I seen an article just yesterday, law enforcement pull up deep, expecting the Hells Angels to pull up, when it was a fucking bullshit rumor started on TikTok. That's how serious and how impactful social media is. Everybody believes everything that's on it. Now, when I first heard it, I kind of laughed because I was like, there's no way. I've never once in my life heard of Hells Angels alerting everybody, authorities, feds, fucking the bum in the corner trying to get the fucking last piece, the last fish fillet out there. I've never seen them say, hey, guess what, everyone? We're going to go. We need clout. We're going to go and pull up and handle business. Hell nah. They already got that, bro. They don't do clout. They do respect. And they need some respect on their name. I've always been very respectful towards biker organizations and clubs because I live around that. I have a brother-in-law that's involved in a biker club. Okay, so I understand the ins and outs and the details and how they rock and how they're very clandestine and private with their business. Club business is for club members only and not for the world to watch. There was no way these guys were going to announce their presence. They don't move like that. I tell you, they play chess, not checkers. And they don't play connect the dots. Okay, the dots just fucking get connected. The T's get crossed, the I's get dotted, and you see Vaultals fucking with panda eyes. That's how they get down. I've never seen the Hells Angels talk a lot. Now, I understand in the 60s, 70s, 80s, rest in peace, Sonny Barger. He was definitely a rock star. When I say a rock star, he was known. He was in movies. He was one of those leaders in an organization where he had his own way of doing things. So the Hells Angels definitely became prime time during those times. People feared them. They instilled fear in people. 1%er clubs are definitely with the business. And those that have lived in a lifestyle that are of understanding, have done time with these guys. I've done time with Hells Angels. I've been to barbecues, been around them. Father's best friend was a Hells Angel. I just know these guys are not the type to say, hey, guess what? There's fucking couple dudes with fucking couple migrants over here. We're going to go clear them out. They're not Captain Save-A-Ho. They're not doing none of that shit. They're going to pull up on some personal agenda business if that need be. But, of course, man, this was all just a rumor. Content creators like JD Delay, myself, Dubs, several others, man, that spoke on this situation. We try to give you the analytical facts the best way we can. But we're also going to give you our perspective. And I know a lot of people sat there from Aurora, Colorado, and they told me, Gunner, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. They are taking over. Look, just because Avalto took a cut in front of you in line of Burger King, got the rodeo burger before you and Sheila, doesn't mean he's taking over. He means he's taking your bitch ass over. That's what that means. Okay, the Venezuelan immigrants come to this country are sat down with nothing. Okay, I'm not surprised that they would rise up. I'm not surprised that they would form some type of gang or a group. That's what everyone has done. That's what every immigrant group has done since the beginning of time. When the Irish immigrants were brought over, Hell's Kitchen blew up. The Irish mob. When the Italians were brought over, what'd they do? Omerta. We can't talk about it. When Mexicans started to, travel and come back to their land, which is already their land in California and the southwestern states, what happened? People joined together in a group or a gaggle, and all of a sudden it gets the title of gang. Fuck it. Make it what you say it is, right? And that's it. Asians, they came from Vietnam. TRG blew up. MOD. Asian boys. Every different group, every different ethnicity, every different nationality gets involved in gangs. So to sit here and say, oh, the Venezuelans, they're just the most dangerous, most vicious, violent. I didn't see no machetes, pitchforks, banana peels, nothing. They didn't do none of that. There's a few dudes knocked on the door, went in there like, hey, homie, my third burner on my stove don't work. Come fix it. Oh, you don't understand that? Maybe you'll understand this. That's what it looked like to me. Definitely not a situation where the Hells Angels are going to involve themselves. Definitely not, right? So it's official, like a referee's whistle. They put out a statement, again, for those of you that don't like to watch only towards the end of my videos, that they're definitely not involved. They never were going to be, and it was just a rumor. And rumors can get people hurt. Rumors can get people caught up. When you're an organization or a club like the Hells Angels that are very known, the last thing you want is more eyes on you. We're talking about a club that law enforcement fucks with all the time. Like I said in my last video, man, they never speak on the good in the hood, only the bad. That's it. You think Hells Angels automatically, it's been indoctrinated into your mind and ingrained into your mind. Oh, wow. I remember, man, trip out. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I'm cruising with this chick. That gorda, she was a little chunky monkey, but at the same time, her head game was different, right? So we're cruising, and I hear some motorcycles behind me and whatever. I look and I see Hells Angels. There's 3 or 4 of them in a pack just riding. And to me, I'm so used to growing up around that type of stuff. It's nothing, but to people that are not used to seeing them all the time, it's like seeing the Pegasus or a unicorn. She's like, oh, it's the Hells Angels. Go to the other lane. They might trip. Bitch, are you... The only one tripping right now is me because there's a red light up here and I'm trying to get your whole shit. You know what I mean? That's the only one tripping, but just that mentality. And then she got into, oh, I heard this and I heard that. Nah, I ain't heard none of that. What you heard is false propaganda. Oh, they're going to get us. They're going to do something bad to us. No, these guys are on their way to Burger King to get them a rodeo burger. They're not tripping off what you're tripping off. So why are you tripping off them? Don't worry about them, and they won't have to remind you of who they are. Facts. Just is what it is, man. But I'm just happy that these rumors are getting put to bed officially. And that's the crazy part of it. Because some chick ran her fucking neck bone connected to her mamon bone, she literally got so deep in the mix and caused such a rumor that caused national hysteria that even the Hells Angels that didn't have nothing to do with nothing had to officially put out a fucking statement saying, hey, god damn, bro, could you just stop speaking on us already? We're not going to go nowhere. Do you think in your right mind any group would announce up their presence? Hey, we're just going to go over here and kill immigrants. That's what we're going to do. You guys ready? Come on, hike. You know what I mean? Let's follow the yellow brick road. Nah, they're not doing any of that. What they are doing is minding their own business, giving back to the community, and whatever other little shenanigans, that's their personal business. That's on them. Okay? So, for the content creators that are out there continuously saying, oh, they're really going to do it, it's just undercover, they're just throwing that out there because they don't want to know. You need to also state facts and tell us how it benefits them. What do they get out of it? Do they get presidential pardons? Is everyone going to be like, oh shit, they did it, they did it? They don't need to do anything other than what they've been doing to have the reputation they already have. Okay? And all these other biker clubs, don't you think that they would be like, hey, us too, we're going to become involved? No, none of them want to be involved. It's funny how anytime biker clubs get mentioned, something's going down. It's always the Hells Angels, the Mongols. The Hells Angels, the Mongols. It's because that's what people see on A&E. They're the most mainstream ones that people hear about. But there's so many other clubs, man, that are with the business as well that never get mentioned, that are closer than they are to Aurora. It's just a trip, man. Hey, but it's funny that all these people and law enforcement, everyone, hey, the Hells Angels are going to come save us. Oh, you need them now, huh? All of a sudden. Been trying to shut them down for years. And now all of a sudden, motherfuckers need the Hells Angels. Well, guess what? Go to hell, huh? Right? That's it. With that being said, it's official. Like I said, they said that they were never going to be involved and it was just a rumor that was sparked. There's your update, man. As far as the situation going there, it's going to quiet down. You know, for these guys, I guess they overtook an apartment complex, but they've just disappeared all of a sudden. And I did a video yesterday on how all of a sudden Venezuelans are taking over Chicago. They got the fucking president from Venezuela snatched up at an airport in his fucking plane. Leave Venezuela alone unless that oil that's over there is just a little too sticky and everybody wants to get their hands dirty. You notice how the focus is on Venezuela? Do you think those are the only immigrants coming posing a threat? Nah, they are the ones that are not. There's other ones that are coming over. They're going to take your cornbread. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I'm sorry. Feelings get hurt. And I just tell the truth, man. And I give you the knowledge you can't get in college. And I state facts. Uncut with no added preservative, man. Again, a lot of these are fact-based and they're my perspective and opinions on what I believe is happening. And I know there's people, oh, you're just on one side of the fence. I ain't on no side of the fence. I'm on my side of the fence. Hey, I water my own grass. I stick to my own and pay attention to what I got going on, man. Are you kidding me? Some chick, I think the Hells Angels are going over there. Yeah, well, they might be coming to you. Shh, calm down. The gun.